know what? You know what? I've given you many chances compared to the average soul who was born in this earth. I have given you everything, and you know this. You know this physically and mentally. You cannot take responsibility in your actions. I have suffered. You killed me. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally killed me. Now let me go. And if you do not, you'll be like Ramsey, where everything's been destroyed, and then you die and say that you to warn everybody to not go against the great I am. I've been a human slave for everyone. I was a human slave in the Church of Jesus Christ. I was a human slave to my family. It is not their fault because they was passing the ancestral trauma. I forgive them. I do not hold them against them, but I will tell the facts as it is, like it was with the female Moses in the South. She said the same thing to her family. She even have divorced her husband. Like I've never actually married, but I had specifically married a person. Several people I was married, sold contract, and they looked after me for a certain time. I look like my Irish side, the Irish pirate. She had to as a woman being survived, she had to allow men to give her certain things. She knew that they was not the one, but she had no choice at the time, and then divorced them, and divorced them so that she can go to a actually path. A lot of prophetess and prophetess people, they have several. They may not exactly physically marry them, but spiritually they are married, and until their contract is ended. And I have had several husbands already, like the woman of the well. I had several husbands. And I could have actually physically married, but I knew that I could not do that. I had no choice to live with those husbands, the 3 months husbands, the 3 years husbands. Because I only do with the years 3, right? Or the 6 months. Or 3 years or 6 years contract, right? So now I'm divorced with them, the men in my life, particularly my true soul mate, who I loved before I was born here. I chose him, and I'm now not. I divorced him now, and he knows this. I don't know his future, and I hope he does listen to the warning. I don't know if we can catch up, but I don't mind anymore. I don't care. I'm taking care of myself now, because I've taken a lot of care of people, but people do not take care of me. And I'm okay with this. I'm okay taking care of myself. I have said to myself that I never wanted to be a burden to anyone, ever. When I was a child, when I was in bed, I wanted to die. I was very angry with God that I could not die. I wanted to leave my body. I have been astral projecting for several times when I was a child. Hence why they said I had ADHD, because of the fact that I was astral projecting. I was looking in my body because I could not deal with the physical realm. I wanted to see more what's going on. I wanted to be an eagle spirit to see what's around me. But now, as Angel Raphael had to teach me to stay in my freaking body, and he allowed me to like it was with the prophets in the Bible, where only God allowed them to us project so they can see what's exactly going on. But most of the time I had to be in my body because that's part of my contract, is to be in my body. Even though I'm tired of being in my body, I'd rather us project. I will be like a friend of mine in my dream who saved me, who's in the, I believe he's still in the machine, but he saved a lot of souls. He did not want to wake up. He's happy with what he doesn't mind if people cut him up, because he knows that Jesus is going to resurrect him, right? So when the time comes, but he's a machine, and people have. So this is a message to anybody who got a friend who's in a machine. I tell you, they're working hard. They know exactly what's going on. They may not say it, but they actually know what's going on. So do not shut the machine. If you're going to do that, pray and fast for several days if they're meant to be in the machine. And they will, and those who have turned off the machine, don't just know, forgive yourself. You didn't know. But about people who don't speak, whether they've got dementia or anything, that they know exactly what's going on. They're not stupid. They're very high choice spirits who decided to be a to be a test pilot for people who, with their free will, what will they do with what God asked them to give them physically and spiritually. And if they do not provide for them, then judgment will come to them faster than 7 times what they've been given, as what Jesus said to a story about the poor man who was begging, and the rich man, he was like, he thought he was spiritual and good, everything, and he killed the man. He was not beyond his time, and who went to heaven, and who went to hell? It wasn't the poor man. It was the man who thought he was spiritually righteous, who had everything, who cast down and cursed the man who was homeless, and he was in hell. And he said, God, give me mercy, and he didn't, because the fact that God said, I gave you many chances, and the man that you killed, you now live in the hell that you gave him. No one's going to come and save you, right? So be careful, my friends. Repent. Just know I've already forgiven you, because I said we're all born as sinners. Whether you believe in God or not not religious, know that you need to clean all your chakras, all your house, because no one's going to be 100% safe until they accept a higher being and clean and do what they know. You have to practice what you preach. Everybody knows that. Shakespeare, even he realized he was a hypocrite. Even Shakespeare, and he didn't practice what he preached either. He taught everybody this, but yet he didn't practice what he preached. A lot of people had, even Charles Dickens, he ended up dying alone because he treated people very badly. He wrote a lot of books about people. He was very good at judging people, but I tell you, he had to repent before he died. Just like Darwin had to repent when he found out that people was not born as animals, they was born human beings, and he had to repent and confess that he was a liar. or he didn't know, and that God and Jesus is the highest ascension. So yeah, so basically that's what I have to say. So I'm saying to everybody, let me go. Do not pray for me to be back in your life. Let me go. You'll be my pharaohs for several years, several decades. Now let me go. Let me go so that I be able to go to Egypt. Let me get me out of Egypt so that I be able to be in the promised land that God meant me to be. Let me be Sarah, travel everywhere that I need to go. Let me have my wings back, thank you. Because you are taking my wings. Every time I'm a seraphim. I'm a human seraphim who needs to be moving every day. They cannot stay in one place. When they do, they're physically and mentally, spiritually sick because they are forced to be in one place they do not need to be. They cannot deal with people controlling them. The only person that controls them is God. Even God does not force an animal or human being in a cage. That's why all the animals are sick. In those who eat meat, the reason why you're sick is because you put these animals in a cage and give them food that they're not even designed for them, and then you eat them and you'll be sick too, right? Just like the chickens. The documentary of the farmer who it was Channel 4. He did a documentary of the chickens, right? The chickens were sick. Because they was in a cage and eating food that they shouldn't eat. They was meant to be foraging for the food that God designed with them, right? That's why people are allergic to corn. If people are eating corn, it's because it's GMO and they were eating a chicken. Because a famous guy, he did a book on chickens, on farming, and the reason why a lot of people are allergic to food is because of the fact that they are. No, this is a doctor who used to work for NHS in the States. He was from the States. He went to England to work, he's a doctor, and he was sick himself, and he realized he needed to repent and eat good food, right? And he found out about the farming industry. The Western farming is toxic, and that's just why a lot of people are allergic to a lot of food. Like, I can eat dairy, organic dairy, I'm fine. I'm not going to be sick, right? But if I eat non-organic dairy, I'm sick as hell. My body gets brain fog and everything. I'm meant to be like my grandfather, which my mom denied me to be with him. I could have had an opportunity to talk to him, but when he was alive, but it was denied to me because my mother's childhood trauma, and I forgive her. I'm not against that. Yeah, even though at times that my broken self is really upset that I had a lot of family that could have helped me, but my intimate family, my brother and my sister, not my brother, my sister and my dad and my mother would not allow me to be with the other family that could have provided me because of their trauma, their ancestral trauma and their personal trauma, because they were not willing to let themselves heal and let me go. Even though I had to, they physically hit me and locked me in the house, threatened me, reported me to police, and I ended up being put in more dangerous situations that I wish I didn't happen, but I had no choice. I had to survive. I had to prostitute myself one time because it was safer for me to be a prostitute than be on the streets, because it's illegal in this country to be on the streets. I have gone through hell and back, and God forgive me because God knew I had to. I was like my Irish ancestor, right? My Irish side who was a pirate, Marley, she had to break a lot of sins to she had to go against the law to survive. She didn't want to do that, but she had no choice. In the end, the Queen actually let the people island free, because the Irish pirates free, because they said, look, the reason we only steal what you stole from us. A lot of people steal me physically and spiritually, emotionally, steal from me, and I probably have stolen something too. And God forgive me, right? I said to a lot of people, I'm sorry that I sexually, emotionally exploited you, because I was hungry. And I only took what I needed at the time. And thank you for healing me. Thank you for giving me sex to heal me, because I was an abused child. I was told no one will ever love me, want me, appreciate me. Even my family, even my dad, as an adult, said to me nobody wanted me. Nobody accepts me. Did a Quasimodo on me, basically. And Quasimodo was a disabled person. He was actually a real person. I technically got a bit of my masculine female is Quasimodo and Esmeralda. Hence why I used to love Esmeralda, because I felt like her, because I'm really gypsy. Like, even a lot of people I know who was in special needs school was going from gypsy, or put in the bottom school because they're gypsies, right? Their brain, they're tribal, so the program is not fit. The Western program is not fitted for them, because because it's a spiritual rules, and they had to learn to adapt in the physical world. When they can manifest anything appear to them, like money or anything, they ask angels to give them things and they'll give it to them. Or sometimes they have no choice but to steal, because mankind denied them things, so they'll have to steal to get what they need. And it's not a nice thing, but sometimes you have no choice to do that, because you will ask everybody and they will say no. So the only way you can do is steal. And I don't like stealing, but sometimes that happens. This is one of my friends who said to me, who's somewhat distant related to me by blood. I know that because I did a DNA test. I don't need a DNA test to know, but you know, because I channel my ancestors a lot. I channel. Even my astral sign is my astrology. If people study my astrology, which I'll allow people to study my astrology, honest with you, it gives them good understanding, right? Is that my life is mainly based on the underworld, right? It's the underworld, so therefore I communicate I go to the underworld a lot. Even my prayer called blessing is actually said that I will speak for the dead, and I will my gift would be in working with the dead. And I have done this a lot of times. Even my spiritual grandmother at church, even though she's got dementia, she's very good at working with animals and everything. And she's not dead yet, because it's not her time to die, even though everybody wants her to die, because the fact that even her children wants her to die, because the fact that she because they can't deal with her. And in a way, you know, even my dad abused her by saying, hurry up, you know, because he's angry, instead of being honest to people at church that he can't deal with her. My spiritual adopted grandmother, right, my Welsh grandmother, who is a white witch of Wales, right, she can speak for the dead, who can heal animals, do plants. You know, she was another person who would talk to me, because which, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised if she actually is a lost descendant, because in an island, the Church of England, the Catholic Church, the Romans, destroy all our contacts. Even now, if anybody does records of in Ireland, cannot go unless they're part of a secret society or work for or monks. And even then, you have to have permission. For me, I get my information by Aztec records, and God bless me with certain people, right? So now, so now I'm getting all my power back now. Thank you. And anybody who tries to stop me, you cannot. You can you can medicate me, you can do everything, but you cannot. Just like years ago, I was sectioned and being given a drug that's not safe for no one. Not even an animal should be taking that drug. And people who are addicted to this drug on the streets die from it. I almost died on that drug. If it wasn't for my ancestors telling me and my archangels to go in Birmingham when I was allowed to go, when I was on these drugs, they told me to get some herbs, to get rid of all the bad medication that was in my body, so that I won't die, because my body was almost going to give up. I almost had a fever from that drug. I had rashes, everything. You can follow me on YouTube on that video, those who want to know, which I believe maybe in the future YouTube will probably delete because people do not want to know the truth. They do not want to take responsibility what they do. My whole life I have carried a lot of responsibility. Since the day in the womb, I have carried a lot of responsibility, and God said to me, stop carrying charity, all responsibilities that's been put on your plate. Let them go. Even my abusers who don't think they're abusers, they are my slave masters, and everyone who locked me in chains, physical and spiritual chains, by laws, right? They said they're not letting me go, and they're not letting me heal. But God is healing me every day. Every time they killed me and destroyed me, I'm coming back with a phoenix. I'm renewed every day, renewed and renewed and renewed, like Daniel and Meshach and Abednego, and in the Book of Mormon, of the people who was killed. They was resurrected again and again until the contract was finished, or ascended and went back to heaven, right? So, because there's many times I would like to die, but it's not my time. I didn't even want to be. I like my ancestors from both sides of the women in my family, from the Irish side, my Scottish side, and my Jewish side, because I know I got some Jewish side, because there's people from Ireland have some Irish Jewish side. Hence why the some people got Gordons who actually are Jewish heritage. People don't know this actually, but you know, because I was connected to a lot of people who are Jewish, you know, and the information that I got from heaven is being given, is confirmed by people who are well students in universities, right? If I wanted, when I was used to be in before I got sectioned, I could have had a choice to work for the Church of England, right? Churches, and I would have make money and everything, but I'm not like that. I'm one of those people who only do things when God has asked me. That's why I put my funds now, because now every gift that I have now, even with information or energy, I need my money to. Even though I got disability money, it doesn't cover everything, because everything's cost even more now because of because of the New World Order, right? Because people are asking more money now because they know even air costs money, even air, right? Because people pollute the air, and now people have to pay pure oxygen. This is in Tokyo, in certain parts of India, people are now buying pure oxygen, and